I'm curious to see if what I experienced this week was a side effect of the medication or just something that randomly happened to me. My husband looked on YouTube University and he was like, "Oh, I think it's a side effect of the medication." My doctors don't have an answer right now, but there are so many different side effects because our bodies are completely different that I'm just not sure if what happened to me was a product of the medication that I'm on or just something that was a fluke. But I wanted to share it with you guys to see if anyone else has experienced this. This particular incident had me in the hospital, and it was just one of those things that was kind of the scariest things that you can experience. I'll explain what happened. Hi, I'm Jay, and this is the life of Rich and Jay. And this was a difficult week because I had an experience this week that I did not expect that had me ill all week. And I just wasn't sure if it was something that was a product of the medication or was it something that was just, it just happened to me. And sometimes when we're on the GLP-1, we don't know how to associate things that are going on with us based on whether or not we are eating properly or if it's just something that our body's getting used to, or is it just something that's going on with us. Is it the medication or is it not? That I could not explain. But this particular week I ate and I was trying to eat healthy and I had cauliflower rice and shredded chicken. I got the cauliflower rice actually from Costco, so it was already pre-made. I just had to season it, and I bought the shredded chicken in packages from Aldi's. And I just put it together so I can meal prep and making sure that I take my lunch and that I was getting in my protein and now a vegetable. And this was super important to me. So I ate, instead of eating it for lunch, I actually had something else for lunch and I ate it for dinner. Everything was okay, but the next day I had more left. I actually cooked a different meal because I was meal prepping, and I said, no, let me go ahead and eat that because I want to finish it off and I'll go to something else. And most of you who know that I'm on a GLP-1 understand that it takes a lot longer to finish your meals than just, oh, I'm going to eat this for 2 days. So that's what I did. I went to eat this, and as I went to eat the same thing I had the night before, I started having a reaction. And I don't know, it started on one side of my mouth and started getting kind of numb. And I didn't know what it was, and I was feeling it. But I asked my daughter, who was in the room with me, and she was just like, I don't know, I don't see anything. My husband was at work, and I just continued to eat. But that numbness spread throughout my mouth, my lips, my actual top lip. And my daughter finally stopped, and she was like, no, we're going to Google this. And then said I had a cold sore. It's like a cold sore. I noticed it's not a cold sore. And she's like, well, maybe you got stung by a mosquito. Let's put some ointment on it. I was like, I don't think you just put ointment on your lip. Like, it has to be some other explanation. But it wasn't at a point that I was super concerned. It just felt like I went to the dentist's office or something. It was just numb. It was starting to get numb. I didn't even realize that it was swollen until I looked and took a picture of my mouth, and then I realized that it was swelling up. And I thought that was just odd that this was happening. I didn't do anything particularly different. In fact, I had just finished doing all my chores and cleaning up the home and things like that. So I was just like, it's a little weird. So I stopped what I was doing. I took my allergy pill. I took an allergy pill. It wasn't mine. Let me just say this. I do not have allergies to the point where I can't eat foods or I have any allergic reactions to food. I have traveled internationally. I've eaten in other countries. I've never had any type of reactions to any type of food before or any type of environmental things. My children, on the other hand, do have that. They have inherited that from their father, unfortunately, and they do have that, but not me. So for me, I actually was a little concerned, but not overly concerned. As I took the medication, my husband did come home from work, but he was actually coming home and leaving out. And when I say come home from work, we're talking about it was 9:45 p.m., not a.m., 9:45 p.m. on a Sunday night. And I'm standing up taking my medication. He looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you look a little weird. I don't know what it is." But he couldn't really tell. And then he said, "Wait a minute. I think something in your face is swollen. I don't know what that is." But at that point, my tongue, the tip of my tongue, was getting numb. Not numb, but it was tingling. It was not numb. It was tingling. As my tongue started tingling, I was like, "Okay, something's not right." So he asked me to sit down, just stay there. He can watch me. At the same time, he was leaving at 10 o'clock. So, like 30 minutes later, he was leaving to go out again. And this time he was going out to the movies. And so I was home and I'm sitting with my daughter. And I'm like, I just wanted to, this algae pill is going to make you sleepy. And I want to kind of lay down. So, moving along in the middle of the night, I got up to go to the restroom. And I said, oh, let me look in the mirror. I look in the mirror and not everything was swollen. Not overly swollen because I've seen worse. Everything was swollen. And now my entire tongue, all the way to the back of my mouth, was tingling and was like numb in some areas. I went back to sleep because I didn't have Benadryl at the time. One of my daughters has allergies to a lot of things, and I usually have Benadryl in the house. And just so funny that we cleared out all the expired medication, so I didn't have Benadryl. So I was like, okay, in the morning, I'm just not going to go to work. I'll go ahead and just go get some Benadryl, and I'll just kind of, get this in my system. When I wake up in the morning, now my speech was a little bit off because of the fact that my lips were swollen and my tongue was a little numb, and you don't realize the things that you use on a regular basis. And my mom was just like, I FaceTime her and she said, like, you really need to go get checked out because I'm having a hard time understanding you. I understand you, but it just seems that like your tongue is heavy or something. So I said, okay. So I go to get the Benadryl because I'm definitely not going to get checked out. So I go get this Benadryl. I'm on my way to get the Benadryl and I stop and I said, no, I need to go ahead and go to urgent care so I can make sure I'm getting the right medication. And when I get there, I'm so sorry. I had to switch over to my phone. I don't know, something happened with my camera. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. They were trying to send me to the ER because she thought I was having a stroke, and I'm telling her I'm not having a stroke. So long story short, I allowed her to do the neurological exam on me, and she still was adamant that I go to the ER, even if it wasn't for a stroke. It was because she was concerned that I was having a severe allergic reaction, considering that it had been over 12 hours since I had ingested this food, and I'm now having progressive symptoms. And so, to me, I thought I was just get some Benadryl, and then that's it. But now, um, with moving forward, I am now with walking around with an EpiPen that I've never had to do before. It took me 24 hours to even learn how to open the EpiPen. I need to go over. I've looked. There's some videos on how to actually use it, and it's just it's just scary when you think about the fact that I know that this is normal for a lot of people. People have peanut allergies and seafood allergies and all types of allergies. I do understand that. But for someone that is my age that has never had any type of allergies, this is something that is a new territory for me. I ate something that I had eaten the night before, had absolutely no reactions. So now it makes me start to think, am I able to eat anything? Would this happen to me again? I don't know. My mom is like, it could just be something that came with age, and as you age, your body changes. I don't know. Like, what do you think? But as I said, I'm not sure. I feel like now that I'm on a GLP-1 and I'm more aware of everything that's going on with my body and things that are brand new, I know that did not happen to me before. I tend to relate it to the medication. And so I'm not sure, but I did do my own little Google University research, and it said that there's absolutely no evidence to support any type of allergic reactions that are related to the GLP-1. And in all the studies and the trials that they had, no one had any type of allergic reactions that happened with the GLP-1. I get that it says that. So it could probably not be the GLP-1, but I still want to give the opinions of you guys. Let me know if you guys have had any type of off-putting type of side effects. And why I say that is because I literally had a side effect of vivid dreams. It wasn't a lack of sleep, problem sleeping, problem staying asleep. It wasn't that. It was a vivid dream that caused me to have problems sleeping. And when I looked at a lot of the different side effects that was listed, none of them said vivid dreams. But then I did notice that since I've had my channel, I've had one person that have said the same thing, that she has had vivid dreams. So it can't be that way you don't have this written on your little books or the things that you put out there, but there's people that are having it. So I decided, why not put this out here and ask you guys about what is, have you heard of it? Have you had it? Is there something that has happened to you that's a little off, that never happened before since you have been on a GLP-1, that does not classify as the classic side effects? So let me know. Put your comment down below. I appreciate you more than you ever know. I thank you for coming to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.